Hey, yo, ladies and gents, welcome back to TakeOff Sports Talk. We're back. It's been a long time, but we're here with our Mass Appeal show. As you see, the Goodman Brothers are in the building, showing some love. We got Greg,
What up,
T,
though?
and Naj, and I'm your host, SmallwoodWorldWide. Now, today, NBA Finals is going on. We're going to kick off our show with a little something special with the NBA. When we think about all-time great players, we always think about what actually happened. I want to look at it today from a perspective of what would happen if some of these players didn't get injured. And with that, we're going to kick off with our top three players that could have been. T, I'm going to start with you. Who are your top three players that if they didn't get injured or something, would have been an all-time great or megastar?
All right, you want all three at the same time, or you want one at a time?
Let's start with number three. Let's start with number three. Give me your three.
All right, number three, I've got Mr. Grant Hill. Um,
Ooh,
was a
ooh.
fantastic player. He had such athletic ability. He was a leader on the court, man. He looked like to me he was going to be one of the best players, not only in the NBA at the time, but potentially even one of the best players in NBA history before he got derailed by his injury. Um, Plus, he's a nice guy. I got to meet Grant Hill a long time ago. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
That's dope.
but unfortunately for him, got injured, and back in those times, they didn't have as great medical technology as they do now. Maybe nowadays he'd be able to keep playing, but so
Yeah.
that's number three. Can we go into number two, or are you going to somebody else?
I'm going to shoot the G. Who's your number three?
You know what? Since TJ took one of mine, I'm gonna go ahead and just say Penny Hardaway.
Easy.
Yeah, had Penny Hardaway not got injured, he would have been the new Magic Johnson.
Ooh.
He's probably one of the most gifted tall point guards that was playing in the league, man. And if he had stuck around and stayed healthy, guys like it would have been a lot tougher for a guy like Kobe Bryant to become Kobe Bryant and be the leader of the pack with a guy like Penny there. There would have been some questions about who's the greatest in the league because there was, Penny was one of them ones where I think eventually he would have ended up being the lead on a championship team had he stayed healthy. It eventually would happen for him. So I'm thinking he would have been easily top 75. He'd have been on that list with no problem. He had all the things that you need to be the face of the league. He's an excellent player, real smooth on the court, great personality, amazing campaign for shoes for his sneakers with him and Chris Rock. He had personality, the game. He was a good looking cat. He would have been the one, man. He definitely could have been the face of the league had he not been injured. Especially with with Jordan leaving and everything else too. He could have been
door was wide
he would have
open.
been next up to play.
Most def. I'll jump in with my number three, then we'll throw the odds to take it home on the number threes here. My number three, Derrick Rose. I thought we got robbed of prime Derrick Rose being as great as he could have been because of the double knee injury. He was on his way. I think he would have won a championship. I think he would have won at least one or two MVPs more than the one he did win. I want to say it was in 2010 or 2011. I actually think LeBron might have one less championship if you have prime D Rose actually healthy. So I don't know. The East was a beast back then, but D Rose, he was that dude. I'll throw it to you, Arch.
Oh, okay. So full disclosure, my top two were taken, but never fear. My knowledge of sports is so I'll just go into my other bag. Actually, and I excluded one person from this because I'm going to talk about them at another time. So my number three is Greg Oden. He was the last player that ended the era of big men, which ironically has come back around now, full swing. But he would have been the last vestige of that era of big men that really made a difference to their team. A lot of people, I guess, similar to Sam Bowie, but not exactly on that same level. See him kind of like, they picked Kevin Durant with two. I mean, what happened with that? But Greg Oden was legitimately just hurt. I believe that if he actually got a chance to just play, he would have been special. So, yeah, that's it.
I'm with that.
Good pick.
I hated that injury too, just to say it, because when he came out of Ohio State, I said, he's going to be a beast. Yeah.
Great player.
Yeah. Yo, T, give us your number 2.
Now, my number 2 might be a little controversial. We'll see. But I actually have Kawhi Leonard. I mean, even though he's a pretty accomplished player.
Very accomplished.
I mean, imagine what he would have been if he didn't get hurt. I mean, he was starting to ascend to something. I mean, and the man is so consistent. And every shot that he puts up, I just think it's going in. I don't know. He just looks incredibly too. He's a great defender. I mean, I guess he's maybe lacking a little bit in, camera personality, but he's got a laugh you can't forget, right?
I couldn't disagree more, TJ. He's got everything you need. I say I couldn't disagree more. He's got everything you need to be a superstar.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, that's probably true. He's not as talkative, I guess, as what I'm used to seeing in megastars. But I think if he had been able to continue his ascent, he probably would have ended up in the top 10 of all time because he's got all the tools, man.
Maybe.
He's got all the tools. I mean, with all the injuries, he's still got 2 championships, finals MVP in both of those. When he does get in the game, it's almost like he never stopped playing. I mean, imagine if he had been able to play all this. I don't even know how many years he's been in the league at this point.
I mean, he's a fun guy too, Yeah,
he is a fun guy. But I mean, he's probably missed more games than
he's got to be about 12 years, I want to say, because I think he played in the 2013 finals too, if I'm not mistaken.
He was young when he played against the Heat. The first time he was young, and then the second time he was young as well, but he was quiet.
Yeah. And how many full seasons has he played?
That's
maybe 7 or 8. He was
maybe, right.
He almost beat that Warriors team by himself. I think people forget about that. That was where his injuries started.
The dude stepped on his foot, man. I hated that.
Zaza's been a piece of
shit. Yeah. And it was intentional. You know the thing where you're supposed to give them room to come down. I hated it. They were up by like 25 that game, if I'm not mistaken.
That was the reason why they instituted that rule. Actually, was right after that.
Mm-hmm.
That or when Tom Brady got hit. I can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, it's a little foggy for me. Anyway, that's my second one.
Yo, Greg, what you got?
This one should be my number 1, but I'm going to save my number 1 for someone else. So my number 2 is going to be Len Bias.
Oh, yep, he's on the list.
If Len Bias had not went out there and experimented with cocaine, I'm thinking he's probably easily a top 10 player of all time. And it's also one of those things where I don't think Michael Jordan that we know today he's still Michael Jordan, but it ain't gonna have the same luster. Because you're gonna have to take away 3 of those rings. Because Len Bias was on his way to going to the Celtics. And he was gonna be with Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, and Dennis Johnson and a couple of these other guys.
Everybody
in the Chief. And
just roll out the list.
Bruh, we talking about Larry Bird's elevating up in the charts too, because he's gonna have at least 3 more rings. Len Bias was LeBron James before LeBron James. I'll say he was LeBron James without the passing ability, but he was a 6'10", big, strong, incredibly athletic dude. He had like a 42-inch vertical. He was built like a tank. He had one of the just purest mid-range jumpers that I've ever seen a college player have. So you take that with Larry Bird and Kevin McHale on the team with you. Larry plays another 4 years because his back is not going to give out as long as they win with Len Bias. He's going to pass that torch, and they're going to run off a couple more championships. I think Michael Jordan would have had that would have been his that would have been the new Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird kind of.
It would have been a rivalry for sure.
That would have been the rivalry, and that's something that Mike has never really, really had, was a rivalry with anyone, because the guys that he came and took over, they were a little bit older than him, so he was the kid. He didn't have like a peer to go up against and have these battles with. We could have saw like his whole career, go over. So I think Len Bias might be the greatest what if ever in NBA history.
Nice. I'm gonna jump in. So Len Bias was my number one. I'm gonna replace my number one. My number two was already mentioned, but I'm gonna mention it again. Grant Hill. I love Grant Hill, yo. The Fila shoes. He's the only dude out of Duke I actually love watching to play. I still think he's probably basketball-wise the greatest. Yes. He's the greatest basketball player to ever come out of Duke University to me.
Easily.
And I think that in the NBA, had Grant Hill not got injured, he was going to take the torch from Michael Jordan and not Kobe in that time frame. And Shaq, whoever else was there, Grant was going to be running things for a minute, because that Detroit team actually was pretty damn good. So I think, again, Grant Hill, strong case to be number one as well. But it's just, when I look at him, he's literally the quintessential what could have been. And I also think about, if surgeries were done properly back then, or were more medically advanced, what would have happened with Doc Rivers coaching him, Tim Duncan, and there was somebody else in Orlando who was the other, and Tracy McGrady. Yeah. I think that just would have been insane.
It's crazy, man.
Possible dynasty.
Yep. Shouts to Grant Hill, yo. Like, just greatness. And I mean, his first step, defense, he was all over the place. Like, he's just special.
First, we can blame Doc Rivers for that not having it, though.
Really? I thought Duncan decided to sign another deal. Did he do that because of Doc, or?
No, he didn't sign because he wanted his wife to be on the plane with him. And Doc was like, "She can't fly. She can't fly with us. She can't go." Sorry, Tim. Put that whole sprint.
That's crazy.
Tell that whole Nicole Delta, because she can't fly with us.
Yo, Arch, who you got at your number two?
another person that just popped in my head, but maybe I'll mention it at the very, very end. But my number two, I'm putting down because a lot of people he's forgotten about, and he's a real life hero, not just a hero, a basketball hero, or gym class hero, and that's Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy
was tough.
Was special. He was in the era right before I think Dame got there. He was a special player, man. I believe he saved somebody. He got shot in the leg, saving somebody. It's a lot of different stuff, but he basically just kept getting injured. But he was a special player, man. Brandon Roy was one of those dudes, man, nobody could do anything with.
Wait, what school did he come out of again?
Brandon Roy, I think he was Washington.
Yes. That's right. Yeah.
And he was this is one of those things, man, where it's like that franchise is snake bit when it comes to like really, really talented dudes just not panning out from the standpoint of health wise. But Brandon Roy was special. But I'll keep it short with that. Brandon Roy is my number two. My replacement number two. My original number two, of course, was the aforementioned Grant Hill. Yeah.
There goes that man again.
Yep.
All right, T, take us home with your number one.
Yeah, I think I might know who Odge has, so I'm not going to say that person. My number one was Penny Hardaway, because
he was my number one. I've changed.
Yeah, I'm going to give a different one, but I just want to give him a shout because Penny, we got a chance to really see what he was budding into. His court vision was so good. His basketball IQ was so high, and he was really aggressive. I mean, if you go back and you look at Penny's highlights, it's him, smashing it on people. I mean, he was dunking on everybody. And I know that as his career went on, he would have become an even better shooter. So I think we really missed out on what he could have been. But because he's already been mentioned, I guess I'll go with Mr. Hank Gathers. We never got a chance to see him in the NBA, but he was a great collegiate player. I mean, I'm not, as you guys know, I don't really follow college basketball super close.
Yeah.
But the times I was watching, he stood out. He stood out. He would have been really something else, but unfortunately, his time came a bit early.
Yeah, man.
Greg, who you got?
All right, I've got. Can I throw in a quick honorable mention?
Go for it. All right.
I'm going to call this one early. I'm not even going to go into detail. Zion Williams.
Son.
Zion Williamson.
That's a good one, actually.
Zion Williamson, had he been healthy, I think we're seeing Charles Barkley the sequel.
He's great.
I think he ends up being.
That's a good one.
An MVP.
Oh yeah.
He plays. He's 25 every time he plays.
At least twice. Easily averaging a double-double. He would have been one of those ones. But my number one is, and this guy's already got all the props and accolades that you can think of, and I still think we were robbed. Magic Johnson. If Magic Johnson, when he came down with what he came down with, still had 3 to 4 more years of top level playing, and knowing the Lakers, they would have made some things happen to put him back in the position to at least compete for a championship. So he might even get one more of those. Had he played out his whole career, that assist record would be so far away from everyone else. We wouldn't be talking about no one else right now. And I think that he at least goes to the championship game at least 2 or 3 more times. Like I said, he probably wins at least one of those. We're talking about a guy who will be in the GOAT conversation for real.
He is in the GOAT conversation.
No, he's on the outskirts of the GOAT conversation.
No,
he's on the no.
No.
When they say the GOAT conversation, it's always Jordan and LeBron, and sometimes people sprinkle Kobe in there, and Kareem. People don't really put Magic in there that often. There's people that really know basketball that do, but on a regular basis, you really don't hear his name. If he plays out his whole career, you will hear his name all the time in there.
Yeah.
What has Magic Johnson ever done anyway, Greg? I mean, seriously.
Stop it.
So is
Stop
that
playing this game with you?
Is that GOAT conversation piece the reason why you put him on? Because I always consider Magic to be a megastar for sure. Like he's one of the biggest stars to ever be in the NBA.
I'm not saying. Look,
he defines what a megastar is.
Yes, he is
because of the GOAT conversation.
He is a megastar. He is Showtime. But if he plays
got
5
AIDS,
years,
I waited.
I had to work it in there,
and that's our show.
but nobody, like when you hear all these sports shows, nobody really puts him in the GOAT conversation. I think if he plays out his career, he's in that conversation. Easily.
But he has 5 championships, right? He led them 5. He didn't get dragged to 5 championships. He's the reason why they got 5.
Yes.
And you're talking about he won, had a bad finals, came back and continued winning. Yeah. If he does not have to leave because of obvious reasons, right? Yeah. I think they run off at least 2 to 3 more.
I don't know about that. I think at least 1 more. But the way the Lakers move, who knows? Because they always end up with a superstar.
That's what I'm saying.
Then we would have never had the Nick Van Exel era. And what would come of that?
Yeah, man.
Okay, we're just going to go ahead and end this broadcast.
I like Nick Van Exel.
So do I.
He's cold. He's one of the coldest.
Great, but he ain't mad.
Like Eddie Jones, too.
I love it, man. I love Eddie Jones. That might have been my original reason for not caring for Kobe as much.
But yeah, I stand by my words. Magic Johnson plays another 3 to 5 years at the level that he could play at. We know he can play at.
Yeah.
He's in the GOAT conversation consistently.
That's interesting.
I mean,
that's the biggest what if to me.
You made a GOAT pick for what if, but I'm gonna say Magic is a GOAT. That's another debate for another show. But I'm gonna jump in with a number 1.
He's a GOAT point guard.
No, he's a GOAT player. Period. I can make that all day.
No, there's only one GOAT. There's only one greatest.
I'm not gonna debate that today, but we're gonna get to that. We're gonna bring your argument. We're gonna get to that.
All right, fair enough.
Most deaf. Love Shemadiar. I was about to take the whole show off the rails, yo. So my number one was already picked, which was Len Bias. Terrific argument and just all the details laid out by Greg. But in jumping to another one, it'd be T Mac for me. Every T Mac was phenomenal, and if he does not get injured, I think him and Penny Hardaway, similar style games, except Hardaway had better court vision and passing, but T Mac was just a monster, yo. He was something you hadn't seen. And I would love to have seen T Mac without the injuries for another 5 or 6 years against LeBron. I would have paid to see that. Like, I just think it would have been incredible TV at its highest level, because you have LeBron, who's, as much as he's in a GOAT conversation and at the GOAT table for sure, he's criminally underrated for all aspects of his game. And I would have loved to see the chess match going both ways between him and T Mac, being that they're similarly sized, similar athleticism. And T Mac had just like an incredible on-court IQ that was like really unrivaled. That 07 season with Houston was special. And what was crazy about that, him and Yao Ming was injured, because imagine if Yao Ming wasn't hurt.
Yeah, it's another one.
Yao Ming was a problem. Like, as much as people never think of him as props, I say no. That dude was cold.
Yeah,
all the way. Ach, number one.
Several honorable mentions, and then I'll get to my number one. Drazen Petrovic died in a car accident. Drazen Petrovic.
Yeah. Good God.
Reggie Lewis, part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about Reggie too.
Yeah, part of that tragic era for the Celtics when they felt like they just couldn't catch a break. And the last honorable mention I will mention is someone who never even got a chance to get drafted and lost an eye in the process, and that's Victor Page from Georgetown.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
And Benji from Chicago.
Yeah. So my new number one, my original number one was Penny Hardaway, of course. But because I have so much knowledge, I was able to just pull out another one. And he was on crack, and that's Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom, from a talent standpoint, is top 10 talent probably ever played the game. This is most remarkable. I mean, he handles just as well as almost anybody at 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah,
that's great vision, realist stories. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to go down that road. But Lamar Odom, yeah, and his interviews are holla. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know how good he was, yo. Look at the college he went to.
He went to Rhode Island.
Yeah. And look how far he took them with that. That was crazy.
He's like Lamar Odom
Odom to me, he's the original Kevin Durant. Yeah, from he didn't see a guy that big with handles and everything else. He was amazing.
From a talent standpoint, Lamar Odom is consistently, to me, a top 10 player when he was playing. Yeah. And he was just one of those guys where he never had a chance really to fully get himself right. From childhood, he just had a rough go at it. And he made a lot of himself despite all of the hurdles he came over. Lamar Odom was just, from a talent standpoint, there's only a few players I can think of who had more natural ability than Lamar Odom. I'll just leave it at that. And that's so he was my new number one.
I actually like that pick. You and Greg brought it home with that. Those picks are great. Lamar Odom, I always forget about him too.
Lamar Odom
was on crack. And he was doing all of that.
Unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
But yeah, there could have been this show. We could go on and on about this all night. You know, for every success story, there's somebody that comes up short or doesn't quite get there. So listen, it's not easy. Speaking of not easy, let's talk about one-on-one, right? Now, you know me. I'm a big fan of the WNBA. They spun off into the unrivaled. They brought a one-on-one tournament to the W, right? It was incredible. Became a nice spectacle. In the end, Queen McPhee, A.K.A. Fee won, right? For Minnesota, guess what? In the NBA, if we had All-Star Weekend and we took out the dunk contest and we put our pride to the side and we had NBA players, maybe the top 16 had a one-on-one for all the money, like $1 million in a pot, right? I mean, that's nothing to an NBA player, but when it's extra bucks, they'll take it, right? Guess what? Who do you have winning a one-on-one tournament in the NBA during NBA All-Star Weekend? And I say NBA All-Star Weekend, there has to be some added pressure. Anybody jump in?
So
now, are we picking these guys in their prime?
Current NBA players.
Is it right? Current players?
Yeah, current players. Current players.
So I'm gonna go off the board here all together, and it's not influenced by recent events either, but it's I misread the question originally, but this guy was gonna be on my first list actually that I was gonna say, and it's Michael Beasley, and it's because Michael Beasley is Carmelo Anthony except more athletic.
That's crazy.
Like you can't stop him no matter what you do. Like there's nothing you can do. The only person who I could see who could play better one-on-one, you're talking about one-on-one, than Michael Beasley might be Carmelo Anthony. No one else is beaten.
Well, guess what? He called out Carmelo Anthony after he just beat Lance Stevenson, and Melo wasn't having it, yo. No. Melo was like, nah.
Melo got
too far. He's too far gone to play him.
Melo, you got to give Melo a chance to get in shape. Like, hanging out, doing his podcast.
The thing about
he got a sonny coaching. Like,
the thing about Mike Beasley is no matter, regardless of his mental state and how he was, all that other stuff, no one ever said this guy couldn't play. Like no one ever said.
Beasley's a hell of a baller.
There's rumors that he and LeBron used to play one-on-one, and Bron wouldn't win. And that's, like I said, this is one-on-one is not real basketball. It's just a
different sport.
It's a different sport.
Especially when you get
but to Bron's credit, was it an actual one-on-one or was it like drills?
Regardless, the thing is that if someone said that to me, I wouldn't be surprised by it. I've seen Michael Beasley play.
Beasley can ball. Yeah.
Like Michael Beasley is ridiculous.
And LeBron James is a different kind of dude. Like he could probably bust someone's ass one-on-one, but he's not a one-on-one dude. He's
what I'm saying.
His knowledge of the game for 5 players is way. He's got a different kind of game. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is that
he's a better player, but he's not a better one-on-one player.
Malik Beasley beating anybody isn't a surprise. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, anybody. I'm talking about anybody. That dude. Who's going to stop him?
So if you bring him in, let's say you bring Beasley in like Matt McClung for the dunk contest, right? But one-on-one, right? Mm-hmm. I'll give you some names. Giannis. I don't think he beats Giannis. Giannis is too strong, too athletic, and too big.
He beats Giannis. All Giannis has to do is put up one bad jump shot. It's over. Because there's nothing Michael.
But he has the defense.
There's nothing Michael Beasley can't do. Like nothing.
I just don't think he could do nothing with Giannis, yo.
Some people
Beasley's nasty.
Cucumber's better pickled. I mean, like, what do you want me to say?
I don't know. Giannis has got some good defense, but I don't know how good is Giannis. Like, Giannis is a great interior defender, really. I don't know if he's great at sliding his feet like that.
Giannis is fantastic, but the thing is that Beasley is big enough to get his shot off.
For one-on-one and his prime today.
Slide his feet like that on a one-on-one basis. You know
what I mean? Michael Beasley is good enough to get his shot off over Giannis, and he's good enough to beat him off the dribble.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, how good is Giannis's on ball defense like that?
I think it's good enough to win.
If you talk about if it's like one-on-one guarding the point guard kind of.
It's all DMV dudes for me, yo. If it ain't Mike Beasley, it's Carmelo. If it ain't Melo, it's Kevin Durant. Look, I'm just telling you guys what it is.
Yeah.
That's who I have, by the way.
Yeah,
my pick was Kevin Durant.
Yeah, mine too. I don't see anyone beating him. I don't see it being possible.
So if he missed a shot, that'd be my only concern in terms of who his matchup was. But offensively, no, he can't be stopped.
I think KD is an underrated. Like if he was motivated,
he's a
decent defender. Yeah. I mean, he's not terrible, and he's got 7'6" wingspan, and ain't no referee going on.
Yeah,
like the only people that could beat a guy like Kevin Durant is if he misses a shot and someone like Embiid gets the ball and he decides to play bully ball. That's the only way you can beat Kevin.
But that's
who can beat him in one-on-one?
But
it's Michael Beasley, dog. Because I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, man.
Hey, I thought about Embiid, but then I started thinking about people's attributes like attitude to win.
Yeah.
Also could have been on the could have been list.
No, Embiid.
Like KD is like he's one of these like he's real serious about that kind of stuff, man.
He's a gym rat.
Kind of clowns around.
KD's crazy.
Yeah,
he's about that ball life all day, every day.
Somebody said something that was so crazy about KD, Greg. That there was like, yo, he's never been married and he ain't got no kids, and I was like, all that is true. This dude's like 30 something. That means all he does is play basketball.
He just loves ball. He loves ball, yo.
All Kevin Durant is about.
He's about
Twitter responses and basketball. That's all that nigga cares about.
Insane.
How do you beat a man who's 7 feet tall with a 7'6" wingspan who can shoot from anywhere, who all he cares about is basketball? If you put his honor on the line, I just don't see anybody.
Michael Beasley, yeah.
But no, I'm telling you, I would take KD over Beasley even today. So I don't know how old KD is, but in NBA years, it's like dog years, and he's still nasty, yo. He wasn't the reason Phoenix was awful. I'll say that.
One-on-one isn't real basketball, but one-on-one, Mike Beasley.
The only person that might have a shot at beating KD is Giannis, because Giannis will play bully ball. Giannis, if he gets the ball, he'll body Kevin up and push him around.
Yeah, I mean, he's strong enough to do that.
Yeah, he's strong enough to push him around.
They do that stuff where they're like one dribble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Two dribbles. If they're playing two dribble, no one's beating KD. If they're playing two dribble one-on-one, ain't nobody beating KD.
Mike
hang it up.
Mike Beasley could beat him, yo. So can Carmelo Anthony. That's what I'm saying. This dude jab step, rip through, yo. Everything.
I'm not saying Beasley don't got a shit.
Beats Giannis?
You said what?
Do you think Anthony Davis beats Giannis if he's healthy?
No.
Anthony Davis beats Giannis one-on-one?
If he's healthy, I'm just curious.
Oh, if he's healthy?
Yeah, he's healthy.
It's possible. It's possible.
It's a close one, but
I don't know if he has enough offense for it. That's the only thing.
Davis could probably get him. Maybe not, because
Giannis got a nasty streak.
I know how Giannis plays. Giannis is just gonna put his back to him and push him around.
Like I've watched Giannis when he's determined, yo. He's a different animal.
Yeah, I don't think Giannis is gonna be like the problem with a dude like Embiid is Embiid will try and get cute and shoot a bunch of jumpers instead of using his size. Giannis ain't about that.
I wouldn't want to cross Giannis. He scored 50 points on a bum knee.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't count him out. You can't.
I think for me, KD would be my number one to win in current today NBA. If it was All-Star weekend and they said, yo, like 1.5 million on the line, I'd take KD versus the field. And that's even dropping in like Beasley, like as the Matt McClung, right? Because, you're going to have LeBron's not going to play. Huh?
You're just talking about today's NBA, right?
Today's NBA. No, all time. Come on. That's a different talk there, yo. Like,
I'm just making sure.
All time, it might be Kareem, as was mentioned.
Yeah. Young Kareem.
I think it's Hakeem Olajuwon all time.
Over young Kareem, I don't know. But that's a good matchup, though.
Maybe. Actually, you know what? Why are we acting like Will Chamberlain don't exist?
I've never seen nobody stop that.
I have. I've seen someone stop it.
It's a wrap.
And his name is Will Chamberlain.
I know you're going to say that.
Why are we acting like Will Chamberlain don't exist right now? For real. Will Chamberlain, if it's all players,
Wilt was a force. Yeah.
One-on-one, it's Wilt. The all-time, it's Wilt.
I never disagree with anybody saying Wilt for anything.
Yeah, because the only person I've ever seen block the sky hook is Wilt Chamberlain. He's the only one I've seen do it. So,
but I'd have to put them on opposite sides of the bracket, though. I wouldn't want them in the same side of the bracket.
Oh yeah, because the chip.
Yep. Because I don't think Jordan beats Kareem.
Probably. Jordan stays on that. If he stays on the outside, he got a shot. But if he misses,
it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
That's my thing. Like Jordan's not going to win a one-on-one tournament. That's what I'm saying.
That's the same problem with a guy like Shaq.
That's what it's not real basketball. Jordan's not going to win it. Magic Johnson might not get out of the second round. Like that's what I'm saying. Like because it's not real basketball.
But that's what I liked about the Unrivaled, right? Was the fact that there were players that you thought were going to go far, and size matters. There was players who could like slide to feet that you didn't know they were like 6'8", and you're like, yo, they went there. And the person who won it was like the mix of KD with a lot more athleticism that just she was dominating, and you can't stop that.
And you put her on a 5-on-5 team, and she's a role player. You know what I'm saying? Or that's just and in practice they'd be like, yo, in practice Sheila be killing me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is.
I got another one for you. And this is contingent on healthy knees. Kawhi Leonard. because he's a two-way player and he has a mid-range that's nasty. I think he'd be a problem.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know about the two-way part, but Shea Gildress, from what I've
Shay's
seen,
a problem
he
too.
just get anywhere he wants. He gets anywhere he wants to, anytime he
That
wants.
forearm action that's not working in one-on-one. No ref, no. They ain't gonna call no foul. They blow the whistle for everything with him, yo. I don't know. He's good though. I like him, but
no.
He gets hard on treatment where they blow the whistle too much.
I agree with you. He does get great treatment, but I think
there's a lot of guys that people
free throw line extended. Shea just gets to where he wants. He just gets to where he wants to go. He's not even going fast. He just gets there.
I'll give you an example, Aj. Like I used to think Dame. I love Dame Lillard, right? But I thought he was a better player than what he was till he went to FIBA. When he went across the water, they don't call a lot of fouls the way they do over here. And he was getting manhandled by the Euro guards, because the defense is different. It's more physical.
Yeah, I mean,
I think about that for one-on-one. The play is going to be. It's not going to be like 5-on-5 basketball calls. You got to kind of earn it there.
You give Dame 6 months though, he can fit. He play over there for a couple months, he'll be fine. But I understand exactly what you mean.
Yeah. I give a fair shot to Anthony Edwards because he's so aggressive.
Yeah.
He's extremely aggressive, damn good jumper, really good defender too.
I don't think he beats Kevin Durant or Beasley though.
Nah.
I don't think he's tall enough.
Because Beasley's filthy.
And Anthony Edwards. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Nah, he's like 6'8", isn't he? Am I wrong?
6'4".
Anthony Edwards?
Yeah, he's like
that's 6'4".
It.
Yeah, he's
I thought he was taller.
He looks a lot bigger because he's like built.
He looks taller because dunking on everybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he be yamming on.
Smashing on everybody.
You want to talk about a great ad campaign? Ice-T putting his foot in those ads.
That's funny.
A great ad campaign.
I like those, y'all. Listen, one-on-one tournament, would love to see it. This was a great conversation, but we're going to keep it moving, right? Speaking of such, great performances, greatest of all time. When you think of the NBA Finals, there's always a defining performance every single year, right? I like to think of the legacy performances. If you could step inside the shoes of one NBA player that had an all-time great run in the finals, maybe a closeout game, who would it be? Greg, I'll start with you.
Jordan. It's always going to be Jordan. Like, what are we talking about?
What game?
Any of the games. Literally any of them. But in particular, I would take his final Chicago Bulls game.
Game 6.
If we're going to finish off, that's the perfect way to finish. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple other ones that I'm not going to mention that I would like to, but yeah, it's Jordan. Like if he would have never set foot on a basketball court again after that, that was like the perfect storybook ending to anyone's career ever. Like most people wait too long and go out and they're just all flabby and sick, and they can't make it no more. They're going out on bad knees. People are just applauding the fact that they can stand still. Like that's how most people go out. But if he just But the way Mike went out, perfect storybook ending. Like you couldn't make a Hollywood script better than that.
Nope.
Yeah.
T, what you got?
Well, I have to change the outcome of the game. That LeBron, that first game against the Warriors where he poured in like 51 points or something.
That was ridiculous, yo.
Absolutely ham. And if I could get the W and have that performance, I would take that one.
Yeah, that's a great pick right there, yo. That's a nasty one. What you got?
So again, I fudged the rules here a little bit. I misread what was going on. I thought that you meant for a whole playoff run. What I did was I said Isaiah Thomas 89-90. Although Joe Dumars won the NBA Finals, and the reason why is because they swept Boston. They swept Boston. They swept the Bucks. They lost 2 to the Bulls, but he beat Mike. Remember, he beat Bird earlier, and then they swept Magic Johnson. And although he did not win the MVP, for him to take a team like the Detroit Pistons and for them to get where they did as him as the catalyst, it's crazy. Isaiah Thomas. Yeah. That's why he's my number 11 all time.
Zeke. Love it. So Greg took my pick. Jordan Game 6, but I got another one in the bucket.
You was criticizing him for. He was like, really? Everybody? He was like, Jordan Buffett.
That's everybody's number one. Everybody wants to go like that.
Okay, wait. If I had to go with just one game, I would be Bron. I would be Bron against the Warriors in that one. If I had to go with one,
2016.
Yeah, with the block.
Oh yeah.
Steph Curry with the shot.
Yeah. Yo, that block was insane.
If it was just one game, because he played.
You know what? I'll change it just for you, Antoine. If I got a game, it would be Allen Iverson.
Oh,
the one time that they beat the Lakers.
That's tough.
I ain't seen nobody ball like that in the finals.
That was insane. If he had a squad, they would have won.
Yeah, he is 5'1.5", maybe, and he was out there torching
That's
everybody.
Oh, Bubba Chuck, out here giving heat.
He got off.
The disrespectful step over, all that stuff against a team that had gone undefeated in the playoffs.
15-1. That was the one loss.
Yeah, that one loss. Allen Iverson. You talk about that's a bad man. I'm telling you right now, if Allen Iverson was out there, if Allen Iverson was 6'4", 6'5", we're having I think we're having a different conversation about the GOAT. I'm thinking that this man is, they are lucky.
With the same mentality?
Yeah.
It'd be over.
They're lucky that man's only 5'10", 5'11". They tried to say 6 foot, but I've seen Allen Iverson in real life. He ain't 6 foot.
Nah.
He ain't 6 foot. Allen Iverson proved that even a God King can bleed. You know what I'm saying? That's what Allen Iverson is.
But to me, that is literally the most impressive thing that I've ever seen in any finals, any performance. Finals was what he did against the Lakers, because there's no way in hell that he should have been able to beat them at all.
I predicted a sweep that year, and he came in and they won that first game. I was shook. I was like, yo, A.A. did what? And I watched it. But you just didn't. It was unbelievable.
With shit, man. I was like, yo, sixes and 7. I wanted Chuck to get one, man. I was like 6 and 7. And I'm a known Laker hater. Wolves are not. Anyway.
That explains that jersey you got on right there, right? Listen, losers lose, winners win, right? So since we win, right? Just got sold for $10 billion, but it's all good, right? We're gonna keep this going, right?
You got a team. Y'all got a team. Go ahead, man.
Listen, whatever. Listen. I had 2 picks, right? So it's hard to choose. One of them obviously was taken, but I'm gonna move to the other one. Magic Johnson, right? Magic Johnson stepping in for Kareem when he put up 42.
That's a great one.
I forget however many rebounds and assists, but let me just tell you, they clinched the championship against a very good 76ers team. No Kareem. I would love to step in and play that way, especially coming off the fact that he won at every level. And that was like a crowning achievement. And I think he was a rookie that year too.
Yep.
That's just you.
Fresh
it doesn't
off the
get better than
national college title.
Exactly.
Right, the NBA Finals MVP.
He has had a storybook career, and just the charisma and the fact that he came in for one of the, probably to me, it's hard to do a greatest player of all time, but if it was, Kareem should definitely be in that discussion. And Kareem to go down, it would have been easy for them to just say, you know what, we're going to lose. Nah, that's an all-time great performance. And another one, I'm going to bite odds here with this, yo. That block, let me tell you, I lost my voice when that happened. That was insane. I lost my mind. Because then when you see the replay and see how Bron goes from one end of the court to the other, because I was pissed. I was like, damn it. They're going to Iguodala's going to lay this shit up on J.R. Smith and it's a wrap. Nope. End it.
The lost part of that play was the fact that JR made him adjust.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the reason why LeBron could get there.
He did just enough.
He did just enough.
Enough. I would love to have that feeling on what that was, Joe. Like that was just man. But anyways, we're gonna jump to the final topic here, right? A lot of greatness, right? A lot of sports talk here on Takeoff. Got Canelo versus Crawford getting ready to happen here in a short period of time. I believe it's going to take place at Alliance Stadium, Vegas.
What day is the fight again?
I don't know. I'll be honest, it's in the summer. Yeah. Let me see. Little show magic, folks.
I think it's in August.
Oh, August.
I'm going to tell you right now. It is. I don't know when it is. I think it is in August, but it's not coming up right now. No, September 13th. It's in September now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it originally was in August, and then they switched to venue. The venue got announced again yesterday. So yeah.
Okay.
Who do you got winning this fight now? Now that we've seen Canelo, we've seen Bud at this new weight for a while, which is kind of like his walk around weight. Somebody jump in. Who do you think wins this fight, and how do you think they win?
I guess I'll go first. As much as I love Bud, I still got Canelo for a couple of different reasons. Bud, even though he can switch stances, unfortunately, I mean, he's knocked a lot of guys out in southpaw stance, but he's eaten a lot of blows to get that. He doesn't get hit as much when he's in conventional stance, but on southpaw, I've noticed that he gets hit a decent amount. I guess because he sees something, and that's the reason why he switches, and eventually he pushes them and puts them away. But taking a bunch of punches from Canelo is never a good strategy to win a fight. I mean, that guy puts heads to bed. He's a very hard puncher, sharp puncher.
Yeah.
And Crawford's heart is this big. I mean, he's not going to back down. He's not going to grab and hold. I've never seen Canelo wobbly. I've never seen him hurt, no matter who he's in the ring with. I mean, I've seen him get beat.
Yeah.
But I had never seen him hurt. Crawford, I saw I think I said this last time too, Yuriorkis Gamboa. What a great fight.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was a really good fight. Yeah,
it was such a great fight. But Bud got his bell wrong. He was wobbling around. He kept fighting because that's who he is. And he ended up catching Gamboa. They wobbled each other, and he eventually ended up being triumphant. But those things, I think, would cost him the match, unfortunately.
Yeah. Nice. I'm gonna jump in here and I'll throw it to Greg and let Aj, the boxing guru, had a last word on this, right? So originally I had Crawford picked to win, but I went back and watched some Canelo fights, and I'm just gonna tell you, to T's point, I never saw him get hurt. I've seen him, in fact, eat punches to the point where it's frightening. And then after he eats the punch, he gets nastier, right? I have seen Crawford hurt in a few fights, and I've seen him get touched up. I don't know if he maintains his speed, and I don't know that it matters. He has good power. I don't know that it matters. This isn't Errol Spence he's fighting. Canelo's an all-time great. Canelo's going to look to people I wouldn't want to fight, and I think Canelo's going to knock him out late rounds. Yeah, I think he finishes them. Unless they agree not to knock each other out, I think Canelo's going to finish him by like the 9th or 10th round, yo.
What does that mean?
One of them's agreeing to that.
I don't think that's ever been on anybody's contract.
Exactly.
Wild statement.
Hey, don't finish. Nah, somebody's going down in this fight, yo.
That's a wild thing.
All right, 10 rounds. Don't touch my face. Let's go. That's never been an
gotta give. Hey, listen, what's that? The dude that's involved over the whole thing, man. Anything is possible, yo. What is it? The Sheikh, the Turk.
Oh, Alex, Turkey.
Yeah. So I don't know. If he wasn't involved, then all bets is off. But I'm like, this cat doesn't want to fight to finish in the first round, yo.
So you have them going by Ron Burgundy rules stuff. Nobody touches the air. That's it. That's all the rules.
All right. After the 7th round, we got enough eyes on this now. Go ahead and get busy, yo. No, I think Canelo's gonna finish him. I do. I think it's gonna be a good fight though. But because Bud has high IQ, I don't think he's gonna rush in and be foolish. But I don't know if he has the chin to take a Canelo punch. And if he gets rocked, Canelo's gonna finish him. I don't think he stops. So great. That's all I got to say. Canelo.
Well, gentlemen, I understand both your point of views. Unfortunately, both your point of views are dead wrong. Listen.
Let's go.
I don't think that Crawford has ever lost a fight in his entire life. and I'm counting elementary school till today. Like his whole life, from the womb to the tomb, this man's been undefeated. I've never seen him lose, and the fact that he has been wobbly before and fought through it gives me more respect for him. You know, because I know he can go through those fire and flames and keep on going.
Mm.
Now, what I have seen is, on occasion, Canelo will try and get cute and switch up his style, and that's how he ends up losing. Whenever he loses, it's because he's not fighting his fight. If he does that against Crawford, he's gonna lose.
Mm.
And I, like I said, I've never seen Bud lose, and now Bud is at his natural weight. He probably hits a lot harder. So I don't think Canelo's gonna get knocked out, but I'll say this: if anyone's gonna lose, it'll be Canelo, because he's gonna try and do something that Canelo really shouldn't be doing. If Canelo sticks to his original fight, the way he's supposed to fight, anything's possible. But like I said, Canelo's been known, like the last fight that he lost. He shouldn't have lost that fight. I saw it, but he was
you talking about Beevil or
yeah.
Yeah.
He was out here trying to be brand new, not sticking to the script, and he got beat up.
Yeah, that guy's a good fighter.
Yeah.
If he is foolish enough to not take Crawford seriously, then he deserves to lose.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't think it's about him taking someone seriously. I think he will take the fight seriously, and sometimes when he takes the fight seriously, he won't fight his fight. He'll try and do something else instead of doing what he does. That's part of taking the fight seriously for him. He'll switch up his game plan to what he normally does.
He's got like 50-something fights by now. I mean, how many times has he done that? Maybe what, 3, 4?
2 or 3. Yeah.
2 or 3. Yeah. No, who's never done it? Crawford. That's who's never done it.
Well, I mean, there's 2 things, right? Because you got Crawford who's never switched it up, and we got Canelo who's really never been rocked.
He's oftentimes always stuck to the script, and somehow he's come out a champion every time. Canelo's been known to, sometimes I just might be feeling real silly and do something different.
No, you can make the argument towards Bud too on that. You know, Bud's never lost a fight, so I mean, so you can make a similar argument with Bud. I mean, he's never lost a fight, so he figures I can take Canelo.
I don't think Bud. See, the thing about that is I don't think that would happen because Bud has always fought his fight. He's always made the fight go to his. He's made every fighter fight his fight.
I don't question that he'll fight his fight. I question.
That's what I'm saying.
My issue or my trepidation is that part of his fight is fight plan has been stances, and whenever I switch stances, he gets hit a lot. That's what makes me afraid for him in this fight.
And Canelo knows how to cut off the ring too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canelo's a hell of a fighter when he fights his fight.
Canelo goes out and does something crazy. We'll never hit into that.
This could be one of those nights where he's feeling squirmy. It's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna fight this whole fight with only one eye open and my left arm, slightly tucked lower where my chin's exposed a little bit more.
Insane.
Maybe I just, do something that I saw in an old fight from the 1920s. I've been dying to try this here ring. Like, who knows what he's going to do? Yeah. What I do know is sometimes it don't happen often. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I've seen him make more mistakes than Crawford has. That's all.
I mean, listen, no risk, no reward, man.
Exactly.
Canelo in 6.
And that's how you and lose by decision. That's how you lose by decision right there. You know who else? You know who lives by those kind of who didn't live like that? There's no risk, no reward. Floyd Mayweather. Floyd fought his fight.
Listen.
Every time. No need for the risk. We got a plan that's worked every time.
Floyd is a masterful boxer, but
and right now, Bud is a masterful boxer who's never not fought his fight. He understands what he has to do in that ring. Canelo
in
is
this
the one
case,
that
though,
likes to get a little tricky. That's all I'm saying.
does Bud fight to try to win on points, or does he fight to try to like win like he did against Spence? That's going to be the key because he's going to get hit, and Bud has a ticking clock in his head too. That there's something that snaps at him. I don't know.
I don't think Bud fights like I don't think he games plans for winning on points or winning on a knockout or whatever. I think he game plans to hit more. That's it. Get more hits. I don't think it's we're going to drag this to the deep water situation. He's in there to get more hits. That is it.
I got to give Aj a chance to jump in, yo, because, go. What you got?
Okay, Jim. You know what I mean? 4 rounds to 3. I saw Crawford. No. So listen, everything that's been positive to say about Terrence Crawford, who in ways I hope that he wins because I'm a Terrence Crawford fan. I'm a fan of Canelo's, of course, as well, but this is boxing and we always root for our race. Hey, if you go out there, you go ahead and mess around, go to one of those mixed fighting parties if you want to. Jose on people's neck, Jose on people's neck. Anyway, but the only thing that could possibly save Crawford, besides it going the distance, because he's not going to knock out Canelo. He's just not going to, because Canelo's taking Triple G. Anybody can take Triple G stuff straight up. It's just you're not going to knock him out.
That's my point.
But one thing that Canelo does do, and something that he's apt to do, is get tired. He gets tired and he'll take some rounds off. He might take too many rounds off, and he ends up drawing when he should win because he took too many rounds off, and he's losing when he should win because he took rounds off. Crawford could take advantage of that, but he has to get there first. You have to get to like round 7, 8, 9, and until he catches his second win and then tries to come back. But even in those fights, Canelo usually knows like, oh, I'm up. I got some rounds that I could probably, he just figures, if it's not that close, he's always figuring that he's winning because he never gets hurt. So he's like, well, I'm not hurt. I mean, like, why would they think that I'm losing the fight? That's ridiculous. I'm not, how would that happen? So it's, Crawford's only chance is to take advantage of the times when Canelo will get winded, and he has to get there first. I think that he's going to get there just because it's Terrence Crawford, and he's really tough, and he's never lost a fight, and he's mean as hell, and he's crazy. He's insane. The fact that he signed this fight when he was 2-3 weight classes down shows you just how preposterous this dude is. So that's the fact that he did that.
But let me ask you, what do you think happens the first time he gets punched square in the face from Canelo and he feels the real power at that weight? Do you think does he survive that? Like, is he going to be good?
He will survive it, and he'll adjust to it. Because, the thing about boxers is like that they spar with a lot of different people of a lot of different weight classes. I'm not saying that they hit like Canelo Alvarez, because they don't. But, like, he's probably tasted 168 power before. It's not Canelo's, but he's probably tasted it, something similar to it. And I think that he'll withstand it, 1 or 2 times, hopefully not flush. Nobody can withstand like either anybody's hit like flush if they catch him right. But I think that he's going to get hit more than he wants to against somebody who's a hitter, he's gonna pull out all the stops and all that stuff, and he's a great boxer. But the thing about it is like Canelo's just as good of a boxer as Bud Crawford is. He's got good defense, but Canelo's got just as good defense as Crawford does. And Canelo
underrated D.
Yeah, and Canelo fights it that way. So it's like when you just look at it from the standpoint of stuff that's in the past, like just from their past, it's like this guy doesn't really have a shot. I don't even know, like, and it's gonna sound disrespectful, but it's not. I don't even know if Canelo would take credit for it the way that he should if he beats Bud, because Bud shouldn't be fighting Canelo. I mean, he's fighting because he doesn't have anyone else to fight. Not really.
Nah,
not really.
I'd rather see him fight Bud than Jake Paul. I don't want to see no more of those fights. I want to see
I would love to
the
see.
best fight.
I would love to see Canelo fight Jake Paul. Personally, especially in MAGA,
I mean,
2025.
For one reason, yeah, I definitely would.
That's
but
exactly why.
For boxing reasons, I want to see.
He would beat his ass so bad they'll deport him after that. He'll never be able to fight in America again.
Nope.
And I'm here for it. I'll pay $1 million pesos.
Listen, I'd pay it just to see his face after one of those liver shots, yo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's over. He catches him in one of those body. Oh.
He break that man like he was Christmas toys. There's nothing going on around here.
Yeah.
And then tell his brother get in the ring next show. Do the same thing.
You know what?
For either one of them, yeah.
They'd be better off both fighting them at the same time, to be honest. They might last to round 4 if they both fight them at the same time.
It'd be insane, yo. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting fight, but definitely can't wait. There's no losers in that fight except whoever's in the ring. So good luck, gents.
I hope they both get paid very well.
So let me get straight. Am I the only one that's going for Crawford right here?
I'm going for
I think Arch.
Canelo's going to win the fight, but I'm going for Crawford. Don't mistake it.
So I'm rooting for Crawford, but that's like, my heart. My head, Canelo, man, is just, listen, I've seen almost every Canelo fight. I don't see it. It's like some Doctor Strange shit. It's like 14 million ways. I don't see one outcome where Crawford actually hurts him. And I know it can happen. It's boxing, but it's just, I don't see it.
I'm anxiously awaiting all of your apologies, just so you know.
Oh, I'll be the first, yo. I'll be the first.
Yeah. I don't discount Greg's predictions after this.
Negro Damas.
Super Bowl years, yeah.
Now he called the NBA Finals last year, the year before or something, right? If I'm not mistaken. And the Super Bowl.
Record's pretty high. His record's pretty high.
The last 3 Super Bowls and the last 2 NBA Finals. I didn't call this one.
Everybody just remembers when he gets it right. No one remembers when he gets it wrong. Okay,
because I get it wrong.
You do get it. You get it wrong all the finals, and then you win there.
If we would have done an NBA Finals prediction this year, I definitely would have got that wrong. I ain't have neither one of these niggas on my bingo card.
You know who had on the bingo card? Tim Donaghy.
If I was not a Wolves fan, I would have had OKC in the finals for sure.
I wouldn't have. I would have had
him in there.
I'll be honest with you. I would have had Wolves and Celtics.
Beginning of the year, Wolves and Celtics. I would have had him in there, but of course, as a Wolves fan, I was like Wolves and 7, Wolves and 9. You know what I mean? So
I'll be honest with you. I still don't know how the Wolves lost that series. It was like 2 different teams. The team from the previous round with the Wolves versus the team that played against OKC.
I don't want to
OKC. I don't want to. I got to say this, yo. This isn't even a slight to the Wolves, yo. I hate teams that play zone defense in the NBA. It's the NBA. You got to play one-on-one, straight up. Like, if you do that, I don't think OKC makes the finals. If they have to get out of that zone, with zone defense, they got like 4 or 5 people who are 7 feet tall. The lanes are clogged. They're standing there. Now you got to the offense today. I'm not even going to touch Indy's offense where there's nobody in the paint.
I mean,
everybody's still.
Anthony Edwards is a 3-point shooter. Nas Reed's a 3-point shooter. The reason why they lost, and this is going to sound ridiculous, but the reason why they lost is because the first 2 games of the series were called very unevenly.
Yes, that's the point I'm making.
And I would like my thing is like the other games were fair, and OKC was better than the Wolves were. But the thing was like the first 2 games. They didn't call it fair. It's like when you allow one team to play defense, and then the other team you didn't allow to play defense, and they lost 4-1. So that's just 2 games. But I mean, it's like,
I mean, the last game they
could have beat them in at least one of those games. It's the first game for sure they should have beat them, but they was giving them dudes the whistle like it was Jordan in '88.
Listen, Adam Silver, you got to bring back the 90s rules, yo. I need to see more elbows. I need to see less zone defense. I want to see like pure basketball where cats aren't anticipating a foul. Like when they drive into the hole now, they're not only shoving off, but like they're flopping already or pretending to go in a shooting motion. And it's like unnatural. That part to me is not basketball. And it's like, I hate it because it's like, yo, what happens if they just had to actually play and they didn't get those calls?
Well, I'll tell you this.
And SGA doesn't get to the line 10 times and goes 10 for 10. And it's like, come on.
Good player, you got a ball. He's tricking the refs. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of
that. They can't take the rule. They can't take the NBA back to the way that they played.
Not the 80s, but the 90s. The 90s, I thought
they can't. They can't because somebody's going to average 45 points out here. It's going to be ridiculous. Like if you leave a guy like Kevin Durant on an island with somebody, it's
you talking about like that. You talking about where
like when they had, back when they had illegal defense and all that other stuff, and all you gotta do is move all your players to one side and then there's just you and this other dude. Yeah. Ain't no way. You can't do that.
You know,
somebody's gonna go completely ham and the game is gonna be just boring. Because somebody's gonna go nuts out here. Because now it's to the point now where everybody is too skilled offensively. It's not like back.
But it was hand checking. But it was hand checking too.
Yeah, you can have.
We don't. I don't know how skilled some of these guys are actually because there's no defense being played. Do you see the scores? The score's like 192 to 148. Like that's not. There's no defense being played.
They're lacking now. That's the problem. Defensively, they're not as skilled. Offensively, their skill is out the wazoo. So if you take a bunch of guys that can only play offense.
Yeah,
leave them on the island with dudes that barely play defense. It's gonna be a problem, man.
I'm watching the Western Conference, of course, right? And I'm looking at some of these games, and I'm like, yo, it was like the Pac-12 after dark, yo. It was like 148 to 150, and I'm like, did anybody try to stop? Was it a layup line?
Exactly.
And you're watching the game.
And
nobody plays defense.
And you want to take that? And you want to take the zone away from games that are like that and put it 1-on-1? Do you know what's gonna happen?
Gotta play.
Is gonna average 47 points a game.
It's no, because he won't be on the free throw line, yo. Remember all the.
No one can stop him 1-on-1.
What? If you can hand check, yes.
It's possible to stop a guy like Shea, Kevin Durant, these guys. You can't stop them 1-on-1.
No, KD and prime KD, of course. He's unfair. He's a cheat code.
KD right now, there is no one that by themselves. He will eat all day.
No, but you can still double team, but you can't play zone defense. But when you double team, somebody's open. That's the name of the game.
So we're still allowed, so we're not taking it all the way back to the 90s.
The 90s you just didn't have zone defense. You could play man to man, and you would have people double team.
But you know how they used to do the illegal defense, right?
That's why
Mike was out here torturing people on that island, and that's what they had guys that were in the NBA just to play defense. Now ain't none of those.
Nobody.
No more.
They don't value that no more. And I remember
exactly.
Ron Artest was like the last of that guard.
That's the point I'm making. So if you take zone away and you
just
got
pure defender,
non-defensive committal dudes. Yeah, there's Draymond Green and the big French dude.
Lou Dort does it. Lou Dort's
Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, he's decent. He's decent. Yeah.
I like Lou Dort.
The league doesn't even have a Pat Bev.
He's tough, yo.
Lou Dort is tough. Lou Dort's the only guy who's there from when they really, really were bad. And they shipped everyone else. They kept Lou Dort because Lou Dort plays. But that's
yeah.
All I'm saying is there's nobody that really plays defense like that no more. That's all I'm saying. You can't have zone in the league that don't play defense, bro.
I know we're supposed to be ending the show, but I gotta say this. I'm offended too when cats keep talking about how skilled players are today. Like we just listed Penny Hardaway, okay, T-Mac. You got Prime D. I mean, we could run down the list. Hell, you could throw Kobe. You got everybody in there. Yeah. Now look at players today. These players today is not surviving that. They also couldn't hold the candle to them.
What I'm saying is the difference between them back
SGA is fucking with Kobe. No,
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is the difference back then is you had those guys, but you also had guys that were defensive players.
I'll take 2016 LeBron James. All right, 2016 LeBron puts SGA in a torture chamber. He wouldn't get half the points he's getting. Not even close.
Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you right now?
No.
So just listen. Back then, they had guys on the team that were there strictly for defense.
True.
They don't have that no more.
No, there's no more Rockmans and all that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you take away the zone, it is zone. What are we? You know what's going to happen? Somebody's going to get crazy. Now, if you had a bunch of dudes that were, if it's back in the day where people were focused on defense, that's why I said the league is, that's why it's more skilled now, because it's not that it's more skilled. The skill is more driven straight offensively. Back then, you still had skilled players, but their skills were like, I rebound, I defend.
You had players knew their roles.
Now it's just a bunch of guys that can dribble and shoot. Ain't nobody really defending no more like that.
No, there's no defense.
Lockdown defenders.
It's like I liken it to the NFL right now, right? The NBA, where the offense is opened up so much more because you can't do anything as a DB. Like, you just really can't. You touch them, you put a hand on them, flag is coming. And so now guys run crazy routes. Some of those routes aren't even real routes, and they know they can do that because you can't touch them.
Exactly.
You know, they want points. They say points is going to lead to more ratings, so it's what it is.
So, like, well, then look at it like this in the NFL. If you take it to that same extent with a bunch of guys who weren't allowed to do nothing, and now all of a sudden you're saying there's no more zone defense in the NFL, and we're just going to have cornerbacks on receivers guarding them, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, if you have the Ronnie Lott rules, I mean, you're not going to have cats out there doing what they're doing.
But there's
now.
no Ronnie Lotts. Do you understand what I'm saying? There's no Ronnie Lotts. Ronnie Lotts don't exist no more. There's no Ed Reeds. There's no Palomalas.
Yo,
there's
crazy.
Just guys out there. That's all I'm saying. There's just guys out there. Now, if you take that with the guys like Randy Moss skill levels and all this stuff, and put them with a bunch of cornerbacks,
Randy's gonna torch everybody. Yeah,
it's gonna get real ugly. That's all I'm saying with the NBA. You can't take out the zone.
Randy had 3 for 163 and 3 TDs, yo. That's I still don't even know how he achieved that stat line.
Yeah, and that's when they can still play real defense.
Yeah,
that's when people were still getting clothesline and they were just like, I'll allow it.
Well, ladies and gents, we could do this all day, all night, but guess what? It wouldn't be right. Mass Appeal, the Goodman Brothers, you know what time it is, Smallwood Worldwide. We'll see you again sooner than you think. New edition of the Random TakeOff Sports Talk. Peace.